My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. Boom! Here we are. This is it. The last episode of Doctor Who, the Flux series, or the Flux. I almost said the bad word. Doctor Who Flux series. This is going to be the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS's episode, the final episode, review, watch party, and predictions of the episode better known as, let me find the dang banner because I got a lot of things in here. I know, I got a ton of stuff.
Boy.
I got a ton of stuff because we got a lot of stuff to go over today before even we do the watch party. But today we are going to be reviewing Chapter 6, The Vanquishers. Now, here's the thing, and let me introduce my buddy over here, Dave Chapman of the rathole.ca. How you doing?
Hello.
Dave? Welcome. Welcome. The heck
Welcome.
is that thing growing on the bottom of your chin, dude? What is that?
Hey, you see me with it more than you see me without it. But
okay. Well,
you just gotten used to it without, because I shaved it off at the beginning of, lockdowns.
Yeah, I know. It's yeah, I got my own growing, and
It'll come and go.
I've got the Asian curse, so it's growing out like it doesn't grow straight. It doesn't curly, weird stuff happening on my face out there. So yeah, we're gonna get to your chats. I can't believe I was reading the chats, and there are a lot of them. They're just scrolling off the page out there. So please, just want to let you know we will be doing a live chat party. First of all, if this is the first time ever joining us at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, welcome. We're going to be doing this in 3 sections. The first one, in the first hour, we're going to be doing our predictions. We're going to have a little bit of the news. I've got an article to read that somebody had sent me, and I was like, oh, okay, whoa, this is interesting. The second half, which will be in the second hour, you'll be watching, and I'm hoping Dave can join us. If not, no big deal, because we'll be doing the live watch party. I'll be watching it as it premieres in an hour from now on BBC America. And anytime that they go to a commercial break, I'll be telling you what's going on, or at least I won't be spoiling it. Let me take that back. I will be telling you what I feel about what's going on. Let me put it that way. I know a lot of you have decided you wanted to be watching it with me, so I'll let you know exactly when I start. And when we go to commercial break, I'm going to let you know exactly where I pause so that you can stay with me if you're watching. Or if you're watching on BBC America, then no worries. You're going to see when the commercial breaks hit out there. And then at the last hour, or however long we can stay, depending upon, we're going to say about an hour, we're going to be reviewing the episode. And Dave will be here as long as he can. I'm hoping we're going to have a third member of our team coming in here, but we haven't received a response from her. And just want to let you know... Yep. Let me find that little clip, because in the third hour, we're going to say for the first 2 hours, at least during the predictions and the watch party, no spoilers. After the episode's over.
What?
Spoilers.
Oh. Fantastic.
We're going to be spoiling the hell out of it. We're going to tell you about everything that we know. So if you decide you haven't seen the episode and you want to watch up until the end of the watch party, that's fine. And then watch later, and then you'll get my take and review. And if Dave's on, he's going to give his take and review as well out there.
Now, it's not going to be no spoilers. It's going to be no spoilers for this episode.
For this
if
episode.
you have not caught up on Flux, like I haven't, there's going to be spoilers.
Yeah, full disclosure, Dave has not seen the last episode, and if he's able to, he's definitely going to stick around for this episode to see if it. So he's going to miss an episode if he decides to stay and watch a review out there. And don't forget,
I might watch it while you're watching the next one.
There you go. Now, just to let you know, we've actually reviewed the other episodes, which include The Survivors of the Flux, The Village of the Angels, Once Upon Time, War of the Centaurans, the second chapter, and the first chapter, The Halloween Apocalypse. All of those are available on the YouTube channel. As you can see down below, please subscribe there at youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We're trying to reach 2,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of the year, and you can help us out. Share, like, subscribe, tell people, comment, help us get the algorithms out there. And not only that, we've got one more goal that I'm trying to reach. We may even get to this goal by the end of this episode. Oh, I lost Dave. Hopefully Dave will be coming back shortly. So also, if you are in the holiday mood, and as the holidays are coming up, there he is. The holidays are coming up. And you can actually see Dave and our teammates. We did a foodie Thanksgiving Day special, but this foodie special is for all the holidays. If you want to make it a Christmas special, Hanukkah special, I think that's still going on at the moment. So, or for whatever holiday that you celebrate, we have some food recommendations, vegetarian, and you get to see some of our members live actually prepare the food out there. And I have a wonderful update and news that Professor Jericho from the Flux series. I've been excited to see him, and spoiler alert, he is in 2 of the episodes that we know of, and I'm hoping he is in the 3rd episode out there. He will be returning to Legend of the Traveling TARDIS in the new year to talk about his role in the Flux series. But if you want to catch his previous episode, check him out. We've got the link over on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel, our interview with Kevin McNally. You can just do a search for it by name out there. So,
I think he is in this next episode. I did read somewhere.
I do think he's in this next.
I don't know if he confirmed it or if BBC confirmed it, but it was a legitimate source. It wasn't just some random internet thing, but it was confirmed that he's supposed to be in 3 episodes, so he should be in this one too.
I'm hoping he's in the next series. I hope he's in the next series, and
yeah,
I hope he's in the 14th Doctor series. I hope he makes it that far, because I'm really.
There was a rumor, and it obviously just a rumor. He is the 14th Doctor.
That was okay.
I could see that. I would totally be down for that.
Let me just say this. I did find that article, and full disclosure, Kevin and I are Facebook friends, and I actually sent him the article, and I said, "Is there something you're not telling me?" He goes, I think they got that wrong. Either he's not telling me, which would be absolutely Kevin,
legit,
or I really hope he actually. Now, if you're not familiar with Kevin McNally, I showed you a picture. I don't have a picture with me in the file. I'll try to see if I can find it. Or if Dave, you can summon it up. He plays Professor Jericho in the Flux series. He started in the Village of the Angels. He's been in the episode Survivors of the Flux, and I'm hearing. I think it's just natural. I haven't seen the episode yet, but he's supposed to be in the Vanquishers, which is the last episode out there. There's a lot of chats. Holy cow, there's a lot of chat. So I will get with them. Some of them came in beforehand. I know there are people talking to each other. So let me, if I skip over your chats, I apologize. I'm going to try to see if I can get to them, but I'm going to get to the point where the series started. So we just want to say hello to Mark Robinson. Hey, everybody. I know Mark is leaving. He's got to go to bed. So we'll see. Mark, get some sleep down there. You can catch it. We'll have the episode ready tonight, and you can watch it on the YouTube or on our Facebook page. Tom says reflux.
Yeah.
As people, Mark says, "Oh, you got your team back. Doesn't need us now." No, I need.
We always need you, Mark.
Family. And you, Mark, mentioned it as the online family. So the Traveling TARDIS online family. So yes, we are very happy that everybody joins us in this. Yet it is hello, and on our YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. We're at a YouTube channel. Help us get us to 2,000. We're slowly climbing up there, and I know we can make it, but we need your help out there. Melbourne trip, hey y'all, there you go. And happy Sunday to you. Yeah, it is. Yes, very happy Sunday. And I don't want to say too much and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, so I'm going to continue on for this moment. Let me get to the end of the chats here. Tip for the New Year's trailer at the end on BBC was cut short, but full trailer is now on YouTube. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully, I'm sure they're going to run it on BBC America, so we'll check out the trailer out there. Yes,
we can run it on this, but we keep getting yelled at for that.
Yeah, I know. There was one scene that we played, and then the BBC said, "What are you doing?" So it's like, okay, fine, whatever. So we had
not
to
worth the effort to try and fight
not
it.
not worth the effort. Yeah,
Right.
but it was a cool scene. It was a really cool scene. It's 11 going like, I am the Doctor and I am afraid, and the BBC said, nope, you can't have that clip. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take it up. Fine.
It is technically completely fair use, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah, it's like, where do you want to have this fight? And especially on YouTube, it's just like, I don't want any, 3 strikes you're out on YouTube, and I don't want to take that chance out there. Mark Robinson says, yes, Kevin is in this episode. Nothing, no more. Okay, he's not going to tell me what happens afterwards. So whether he's going to stay in or not, I hope he does. And Mark, Mark, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, folks, subscribe to youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Help us reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of this year, or just get us a really big number. We are very grateful for every single user, every single subscriber who comes and joins us out here. I'm trying to see.
Here's your picture. Mm-hmm.
Yes, there you go. There's Dr. Jericho. He plays that in the Flux series, and apparently he will be in the Vanquishers, which I'll be watching very shortly. And I'm just gonna jump this up. Where's the picture? And he plays Hugo Lang. If you look in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, he plays Hugo Lang in the episode The Twin Dilemma, which is actually the first 6th Doctor episode. Colin Baker starting in the role, and that's him. He's also very known. Everybody knows him as Gibbs. I keep on getting wrong. I think it's just Josemie Gibbs in the Pirates of the Caribbean series. So I was excited to see him come back. Speaking of excitement, we want to wish somebody a very happy birthday. And it is today, if you're listening to us right now, December the 5th, 2021, Catherine Tate's birthday. Donna Noble herself, she turns a beautiful 52. And that's her with the Traveling TARDIS right there. She was born December 5th, 1969. So very happy birthday to you there, Catherine. And I remember when I took this picture, everybody was asking, what did she do to her arm? I think she had a skiing incident, but I'm hoping by now she is recovered. But we got her with the Traveling TARDIS. So happy birthday. Happy birthday, Catherine, the nice 52 years old. And don't forget, go over to, where's my banners? Flipping banners here. Go over to the Facebook page, facebook.com, The Traveling TARDIS, where we're celebrating the 25 days of Humus. And just to give you a few pictures that haven't been set up yet or on their way to the Traveling TARDIS out there for you guys on the Facebook and the YouTube channel out here. Here's some pictures, Dave, of Universal Orlando's Macy's Day Parade. We've got 4 of them, but there's a lot more coming. But I just want to give you a little sneak preview. And this girl right here, I asked her to take a picture, and she goes, "Oh yes, TARDIS," and that's the pose that she took. That's what we came up with, and it was just gorgeous out there.
That's perfect. They
actually have in one of the Universal Studios areas over by they call it the Tribute Store. And they normally they do it, I guess, for when a movie comes out or when they have a holiday like Halloween Horror Nights. And this time it's set for Christmas, but they have a room that's specifically Harry Potter. And this is one of the Christmas trees in that Harry Potter room out there. So I was loving that. I was so loving that out there. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We're having trouble.
I had the same problem one day too. Like the episode that I was hosting, I had the same issue. So I don't know.
Yeah, I apologize. I just had an alert come from one of the Facebook channels, sci-fi.radio. I don't know why, but it dropped the link there. So if you're, it definitely, if you are, you definitely want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we put not only the content up there, but we also put exclusive content. This was outside on one of the Christmas trees out front. And my favorite, I couldn't have timed this better out there, Dave. Santa saying hi to Jodie.
Nice.
So that is just a thumbnail pictures for the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. The Legend started about 9 years ago. It's going to be its 10th year next year of traveling, going places, taking pictures with such. And without further ado, I want to be happy to make this announcement. Dave, you are hosting an episode on the 14th. Is that correct?
I believe that's not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. So
the Tuesday after.
Correct.
We're going to be taking a break for a week, maybe, depending upon if Melanie's got more chocolate boxes that we didn't even know about out there. But Dave will be hosting a special board game special He'll be hosting for the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS in conjunction with the rathole.ca. The following weekend, Phantasmagoria will be returning and doing a special Christmas episode on the 21st of December, just days before Christmas, and they're going to have a great Christmas episode for you. So please subscribe to the Facebook or YouTube channel if you want to check it out there. And don't forget, they've made the announcement. I don't have it in the file, but I will make it clear. The 1st of January 2022 will be Eve of the Daleks. I think that's the title, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Eve of the Daleks. Let me just verify that real fast, because we got the picture. I was literally sent the picture like a moment. Yeah, Eve of the Daleks. So on New Year's Day, that's going to be happening. That would actually be a good Christmas special, Eve of the Daleks, Christmas Eve of the Daleks. Why can we not have? I'm just like, what, Dave? I just have a question. Why can we have a Christmas episode? What's wrong with the Christmas episodes? I miss them. I love them.
Me too. I absolutely adored them. I wonder if it wasn't and I do not say this in any sort of a bad way, an inclusion thing, because not everybody does Christmas. I'm wondering if that's not at least part of that discussion. That being said, great. If you're not doing Christmas, you have more time to watch Doctor Who.
I think it's become a tradition all over the planet.
Yeah.
I know that people have their means of what they celebrate. And folks have Hanukkah, folks have Kwanzaa, what winter solstice, whatever. But I always thought of Christmas being an inclusive holiday, especially around this. And it just seems tradition that we have it. And now that it's missing, it doesn't feel right. Because now, on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, I've been rerunning clips of classic, what I'm now considering classic New Who, of episodes from Doctor Who for their episodes like the Christmas Invasion, the Christmas Carol, the Doctor, the Witch, and the Doctor, the Widow in the Wardrobe, all those. And I'm like, okay, now it's time to bring in Jo. Oh, she hadn't done anything.
No.
So continue. Do you have something for us there, Dave? I see something set up in the.
Oh, that's just this is me being all sorts of it's just me.
Oh, okay. This is the rathole.ca.
This is my link tree. So linktr.ee. You can get to my. I'm scrolling my mouse over this like you can see my mouse. So I don't always do that. But we are doing a bunch of holiday reviews, so you can see that top link. That's when we get my names back up. That's the straight URL. Did a great interview with Jeff Stormer from Party of One podcast, award-winning podcaster. That link is still up there. That was live last week. But in there, we've also got my YouTube channel, and I would love to have like an extra 25 people subscribe to it between now and the end of the year, kind of thing.
So if you not only subscribe to our channel, but when you get a chance, go over to Dave's YouTube channel, the rathole.ca, and subscribe down there. Dave, if you could pull up that Facebook page or that link, go ahead and pull it up so you can post it up there. I'm just going to run through the chats real fast before we take a commercial break. Alrighty, I want to welcome Andre Burgess. Oh,
interrupted. There you go.
Fine.
Back up.
Yeah, let me get to the chat first, and then we can put it. Andre Burgess, the storyline of Doctor Who itself is some kind of clueless about quantum thermodynamics overall. More physics jokes will be made. This series more realistic. Okay, well, we'll see what happens out there. As for hail to the Traveling Tardis, here to find out how bad Who has become. My apathy of all Who is big, so it's dead to me. Okay.
Aww.
Okay. Well, let me address this. I got to say this: the 4th episode of this series. Where the hell is it? The 4th episode of the series, which is the Village of the Angels, introduced Professor Jericho. And I think for a brief moment, we were going back to traditional, good, classic New Who with a really great running story. And it really had a good ending as well. Not that the Doctor was turned into a weeping angel, but it was a runaway. I was feeling like we were getting back to the Doctor Who that we were accustomed to when we were dealing with RTD and Moffat. And I loved that episode. And in fact, I'm going to say right now, I'm going to declare, I think The Village of the Angels is the best of 13, of everything that she's ever done. I think this is one of the best episodes.
Definitely one of, yes.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Then Survivors of the Flux showed up and killed it. And I was reviewing this with Mark Muncie of Erie, Florida, and we were just bashing the heck out of this episode. I was like, the best way, and then full disclosure on Dave, he has not seen,
have not seen it yet.
the 5th episode as of yet. But the best way I can put this, and see, I don't want to give you an impression about it. The best way I can put this is going to a Thanksgiving Day dinner and someone bringing in McDonald's to the dinner table and saying, here you go. It felt like fast food. It was like, okay, it tastes great, but it wasn't fulfilling. This wasn't really the story I was looking for. Okay. So, I mean, that was, if I had to summon up the 5th episode as far as a review, that's how I had to review it. I gave it a 2. I forgot. I think Mark gave it a 2 as well. It just felt like...
Here's a reflective question for you.
Sure.
Do you feel that because if this is that, here was your Village of the Angels, and this was so good coming out of it, did that skew this down lower?
No,
because of that.
I think 1 and 5 suffer from the same thing. And this is when I rated the first episode, the Halloween Apocalypse, I gave it a high review. And I think over time, when I was looking into it, I think I gave it too much of a good score. And the only reason why is because I felt, and this is, I kind of heard it in whispers, but I know I've acknowledged here. I don't know if I'm the first person to say it, but it felt like somebody strung along a bunch of great movie trailers and said, this is an episode. So take like movie trailers from Marvel films, put them all together and say, this is a movie. And it felt like it was disconnected. You know, it felt like we were running fast on things. And it felt like when we finally got to the climax, to the end of the scene, I'm like, what just happened? Now, I was excited because I was going in there with low expectations, but that was just me. Because I had seen what the last episode was, and I was like, this is this is not a really great episode. You killed a TARDIS. So I was just like, yeah, exactly. So that was so somebody didn't see the doctor's wife. So I just felt like it was a runaway steam train of little things that were being put together that had no cohesive value. And instead of having like, this is a great script and everything, it felt like it was just disconjointed mess. It was like, oh, look, here's the Weeping Angel. Oh, here's something. That's how I felt. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody else felt differently, because I noticed people when we were asking around and doing polls and we're rating it, they gave the episode a 10. I'm like, please tell me why. I couldn't. Mark and I were sitting around here going like, this is just a mess. Whereas the Village of the Angels had one storyline that was cohesively going, even though it went a little bit weird. It still had a focus. Mm-hmm. And it was brought on. It did have a great reveal. It did have a great payoff in the end. That's just my opinion on that one. What did you think of it? Because I don't know if you were here to rate that one.
Which one?
The fourth one, the Village of the Angels.
Loved it. I don't think we rated it. Wasn't that the one I did by myself? Was that the one it was me and Mackenzie?
It was you and Mackenzie, but I think that was War of the Centaurs.
Okay, never mind then. But yeah, no, I did see it though, and it was great. I loved it. It was. I agree with you. It was definitely one of the best episodes. Definitely a little bit of a whether it was inspiration or just dumb luck coming out of the Lonely Assassins video game. I definitely noticed that in that episode.
You see, I don't think on that because it was the only episode in this whole series that was not solely written by Chris Chibnall. It was also written by Maxine Alderton, who wrote the Diodati episode. And that was a good episode.
Yeah.
In Jodie's run. I thought that was a good episode. So for me, I saw a lot more of Maxine's writing from the Diodati, if that's the only example I have, to what I saw in the next episode, which was Chris Chibnall stuff, and there was just a basic cluster. Yeah, it's the same thing like 42 with having all those locks that they had to go through the ship. I'm like, well, what was the point in that? It was really just okay, whatever. But let me go ahead and get back to the chats.
Yes.
Mark Robinson says, my personal views of the Flux I would put in the same place as the Class and Australian K9 TV series. And I think that might not be a good rating because I didn't like Class at all, and I have yet to see the K9 spinoff series out there. Looking forward to it, Dave. There you go. Mark Robinson, Chocolate Box, who me? Now I am a saint. We have discovered Mel loves for sherbet, and want to welcome Ramona. Hello, Ramona. No spoilers. Watch twice. Okay, thank you. Please keep it spoiler free. And let's bring David Rossler in. David, hi, Christian. I heard you mentioned at Neurotic. Yeah, I actually go visit Neurotic. You know who he is, right? Gary Beekler, Neurotic.
Okay.
He made a statement, and he made a statement that there are some people out there, podcasters, Doctor Who wise, that are trying to keep the peace. And he mentioned Dan at the Space Book and the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. And I get it. It seems that in the social media world, I don't begrudge Gary by this. It seems to me in the social media world, we do have, and when it comes to like things like cancel culture and just people just, going after each other because they like and don't like something. And it's like, my God, it's a TV show. Come on, guys. It's been draining. That's why I kind of just stay away from things like Twitter and the social media, because it's, I see the fights going on and it's just exhausting. Just like, guys, what, really, this is.
I managed to avoid fights on Twitter. Twitter is a very surprisingly positive space for me.
Yes.
Mainly because my only account on Twitter is basically the Rat Holes page.
Okay.
It is technically a work page.
Right.
So none of my team are shy about their politics and such, but I try not to at least actively start fights on that account. And Facebook? Oh, you've seen my comments through your feed. No, I start fights on Facebook all the time. Well, that's my page.
I will put something. I can post something like I don't like Jodie Whittaker, and then I'll if I put something like I don't like Jodie Whittaker, I'm just saying that I'm not projecting. I'm just saying this is an example. I will say I don't like Jodie Whittaker. I'll throw in the Traveling TARDIS. That thing will get like 200 messages, and 99 of them will be like everybody fighting each other.
Yeah.
So I just, as a geekdom, this is the place where I said, you know what, this is where the line is drawn. If you want to have your own opinions, fine. That's it. If you like Jodie, if you don't like Jodie, this is the place where we say your opinion matters. We need to work together. We're Whovians, so let's find some common ground. I don't expect you to like every Doctor. Somebody was asking me about this. We were revisiting that question, what is a fandom or what is a fan? And I said, we came to the conclusion that a fan is what you say you are. As long as you like something about the geekdom, that's your call. I can't come out and say you're not a fan of something because that's not my right. If you like one book and it happens to be a story about the second Doctor, and you like nothing else about Doctor Who, and you refuse to watch the TV series, you refuse to read the books, other books, you refuse to read the comic books, what do you say, David? Do you think you're still a fan, or you just that's not enough?
I would say you are a fan of that book. In that example. Okay. If you have like one specific thing and none of the rest, I would argue that makes you part of the fandom, without a doubt. But it makes you a fan of that one thing more than everything.
But the question is, are you a fan? And I would argue that there are people who could run rings around me because they've read the comic books. They've read all the books. They've read Lungbarrow. They've done all the research. They've got their subscriptions to Doctor Who magazine. They go to every single convention, for God's sake. And I think I would say if I was to skill level myself between 1 and 10 as far as knowledge of Doctor Who, I would say probably between 6 and 7. Because
you're
I
higher
don't.
than me.
Well, I mean, this is from watching episodes of Doctor Who when it was on VHS and was on PBS. So, and I've seen, some of the classic stuff, meaning going back to the first Doctor all the way up to the third. And I've seen it. I could use a refresher course. It's been a while. But, I mean, it's really... it's really hard to say to somebody else you're not a fan. Mm-hmm. However, I do think there are levels of experience in the fandom. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say I kind of rate between 6 and 7 on that. But I would never go up and criticize, hey, you're not a fan. But
if that example came up to me and said, I'm a fan, I would not dispute that.
Right.
That I'm not, yes, by all means. If you identify as a fan, you're a fan, period,
right.
End of sentence. By my standard, would I consider myself a fan in that scenario? No. I would say I'm a fan of that one thing, not of the fandom.
Okay.
Even
though it's a part of the fandom.
Exactly. You were a fan of part of, and you are a part of. Right? But
right.
But there's so much more that, in this case, that you don't like than what you do.
Right.
Like I said, it's one book out of thousands of books. And,
right, but I could change the parameters. I don't like Jodie, but I like David Tennant. Or I like all the male doctors before her. I don't like Colin Baker, which was back in the 80s a thing. People did not like Colin Baker's interpretation of the Doctor. Does that make him any less of a fan? They watch the TV series, but they don't listen to Big Finish. They just choose not to. Are they still a fan?
At that point, yes. Like that. At that point, like I said, the first example was I like one specific book.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And that was why I say you're a fan of that book, not necessarily of any,
And if anybody wants to, and if anybody wants to hit up on this question, by all means. But see, this is where the reason why I use the one book example is, where does the line cross? Can I watch?
And that's a personal line.
Yeah,
and I think that's on both sides of that scenario. Yeah.
What I don't like is people coming out and saying, "Well, you don't like Jodie, you're not a fan." I'm like, if anybody says that, BS. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just like, if you don't like a certain doctor, and I do know a few women who don't like David Tennant. Go figure. That's they exist. Yes, they do exist, and it's fine. And people who, when we went to conventions, who had their misgivings about Jodie, were like, I'm not too hip on this female doctor. I didn't go out there and criticize them. I would say, listen, give her a chance. 2-3 episodes. After the third episode, if you are not on board, I'll see you next time. I will see you at the regeneration. I didn't tell him you are not a fan. I didn't tell him don't let the TARDIS door hit you on the way out. I said, I'll see you at the next regeneration. It just didn't work for you. And I just see it as much as if they like Christopher Eccleston, but they didn't like David Tennant. They like David Tennant, but they didn't like Matt Smith. If they like Matt Smith, but they didn't like Peter Capaldi. I'm not going to there to judge and criticize. Now, if they walk up and said, well, even if they say, I just feel uncomfortable about a woman being in the role, it's not my thing. I'm not going to criticize of being sexist. I'm like, that's their choice. For me, if you want the fandom to grow, you need to convince them. It is not the onus of the fan to prove that they are a fan of the geekdom. It is the onus of the geekdom to keep that fandom going. Mm-hmm. And if it's not doing their job, I can say certain movies that didn't do their job, then 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 they're going to.
That was a brilliant movie.
Yes.
Fight,
a handful of people down there. And we're going to continue with the chat. Ramona says, Village of the Angels, what's the best? See, that's right. Folks, we're just going to go to commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue on. If you have any predictions you want to bring in, by all means, we still got a lot of chats to go to. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. Help us get to 2,000. We appreciate that. We'll be right back right after this commercial break. Please continue to stay logged on, tune in, and become part of the legend. Where is my thing?
Jackie Sonnenberg's My Soul to Keep is a ghost story rooted in the realities of actual cults. When 13-year-old Sky Monroe arrives at her new boarding school, all she can think about is death and connecting with the afterlife. Soon she discovers her school's spirituality group, the Guardians of Light, and they have a secret. They can speak with the dead, and the organization is a cult. But this isn't Sky's only problem. The campus house where Sky resides is haunted, and even the ghosts have an agenda. They intend on getting the souls they want. Filled with mystery and intrigue plucked straight from the headlines, author Jackie Sonnenberg's research and attention to detail give this ghost story an even more eerie atmosphere. Find My Soul to Keep on Amazon.com today.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
And if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, our Twitch page, on our Facebook page, thank you for joining us. Don't thank us. We're powered by Raging.
Hey there, this is Meredith Loughran with Ragin', and I wanted to let you know that we encourage and promote independent creators and their projects through organic interaction, consultations, and more. Visit Nita and me at RaginAVC.com for details and contact information. Hit the button.
You know, Dave, every time that Meredith says hit the button in that commercial, nobody knows what the heck we're talking about. So, like, what button are we supposed to be pressing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. My name is Christian Basil. I'm here with Mr. Dave Chapman of the rathole.ca. We are in the middle of our prediction segment. We're going to be, for those of you just joining us, we're doing 3 parts. We are doing the Doctor Who Flux review of Chapter 6, The Vanquishers. Right now, we are in our first stage, the predictions. In the next less than a half hour away, we're going to be going live to the BBC America. Now, unfortunately, you will not be able to see it with me. You will just be able to see my reaction because BBC has something to say and they don't want us showing it. But at least you'll get to our reactions. And for those of you who are joining me simulcast, let me know if you're watching on BBC America. Of course, the commercials will come on. If you're watching it with me live while I watch it, I'll be telling you along the way where I'll be stopping and starting. So if you want to stay with me as far as when I'm watching it, by all means, go ahead. And in the final hour, we're going to be doing the review of The Vanquishers and pretty much the review of all 6 chapters of Flux. So I know you haven't seen the 5th episode, yes. Which asking you what your predictions of the 6th episode is going to be, but where you are so far, where do you think this is going? I mean, where do you think this is going to be?
And part of this kind of goes on what my prediction. I don't need what was in the middle, because the middle apparently was all over the place. Where do we end episode 5?
Right.
Spoilers, everybody. Where do we end episode 5?
You see, I don't even remember the episode that well.
Okay, because at the point we at the end of 4, it was okay. The angels are working for Division,
right?
And it seemed implied to me, at least, that when they turned her into an angel, they were basically capturing her to take her back, basically for another Trial of the Time Lord type thing, or you're going to come work for us shady Black Ops thing.
Mhm.
Right? So if I was going to make a prediction, I would have said that episode 5. Why do I keep saying season 5? Episode 5 would have been going there, and that 6 would be more of a resolution to, her working with the Vision and leading up to, where does the fugitive Doctor land in this? Because there's been rumors that it's a 2.5 or I think it was a 6.5. Like, there's a couple of spots in the history, right, that a Doctor could easily be shunted in. The big one being between 2 and 3, because you never see that regeneration.
Okay. I needed to do a refresher course. There was for better term, and somebody had mentioned this, and now I can't get it on my head. They did a retcon on Unit where they kind of did this Hail Hydra thing, where somebody had implemented Unit from the past, and then it got all the way up to Kate Stewart. She's being threatened that Unit's going to be deactivated, and they blow up her house. Vendors discovers a swarm. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading this, but I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
There was so much stuff, and it just like to try to process it was just weird. And plus, my memory is going completely. Somebody was asking me about a certain year of a convention that was at, and it's like, I don't even remember the conventions anymore. They're one big gobbledygoo of mess. I know.
How are we in December?
I know. The Doctor watches helplessly as the swarm arrives to disintegrate Tectune, which she makes an appearance. She turns out to be the baddie so far in the series amongst the swarm and such, and is about to do the same to the Doctor. So that's where we ended it in the last episode. So go ahead and continue your thoughts there. I just wanted to read that out to you, since I've just spoiled the entire episode.
So did we find out who they are as far as Swarm, like identity-wise, Swarm and...
I think this is what the 6th episode is supposed to do.
Yeah, that's if they didn't invite that, then yes, that's exactly what I would say.
Because the Division is just throwing me off, and it's just like, okay, we had something in the Division. It wasn't called the Division. It was the CIA, which is the Celestial Intervention Agency. I always believed that was kind of... if the Doctor has his and her moral compass, but I'll send Captain Jack in, or the 7th Doctor says, you to Ace in Silver Nemesis, you didn't have to bring that your case of Nitro 9 with you by any chance, did you? And Ace goes, no, I'm a good girl, and he goes, great, blow up that ship. She brought it. Yeah, so she knows she's full of it out there. So did you want to complete your thought, Dave, or did you want me to go to the chats out there?
No, let's go to the chats. But yeah, that's basically the big thing is, who are they and how do they tie in? That's the big part.
Gotcha. I've been hearing Who Is Dead to me since Eccleston's last episode, actually, since McGann's movie. I'm not giving up myself. Who is who? And there it is always at least one great episode per series. The thing about it is you can't keep a good Doctor down. The weird part about it is you can put them down, but they can go out for a while. We did for 14 years. And then we had the Wilderness Years. We had the 96 episode, which is referring to the Paul McGann. But the Doctor will come back. I think there is always a craving for Doctor Who, but I also think there is a direction that people want to take Doctor Who in, and I don't know if the Flux is the answer to that there. More on Andre Burris. Hello, human. Quantum thermodynamics is nothing more senseless as you laughing at space-time defined by Bohr, Heisenberg, Einstein, Ohm, Newton. But okay, I understand that you not understand one wording before. Okay. Tom Kosak comes in. Yes, Village was the best. This better than last week. I'm dropping last week's number to 3. This is a 5. Wow. Okay. Problem being, hey man. Well, that was crap. Another year of this trend to be drawn out. Have a great show.
Oh.
You have people who are not happy with the direction of the show. Problem being, like I said, he's a fan.
Mhm.
I've seen problem being in other chat rooms. He is a fan, but he like myself, the direction is just kind of a little bored. And after seeing the 5th episode, honestly, Dave, I don't really know how they're going to wrap this up. I really don't. They put out take whatever Moffat explosion of spaghetti strands that you see on those hurricane boards and explode it tenfold. And that's what's going on with these lines of stories and arcs that are going in through the Flux. And I was just seeing this in the last episode and going like, where the hell are you going with this? Why is Unit in here? You know, I think this might be more than just 6 episodes that needed to be addressed. And I definitely would have loved, especially with the last episode, Professor, I'm sorry, I can't get his name right. Jericho, Professor Jericho. He's definitely a companion that we should have more than 3 episodes with. If he leaves on this series, I'm going to be mad. Because Kevin McNally, when he came back in the 5th episode, it was great. Because he just fit right in all of a sudden with Dan and Yaz. And I was like, we should have been exploring him more.
He just drew all of that energy to him.
Yes.
And just bang. And you go, okay, I know who this person is.
Yes. And not only that, but
that episode.
we were joking earlier that there was a rumor that he was the 14th Doctor, and I said, where's the money that I need to pay for that to happen? It's just like, yes, make him the 14th Doctor by all means. He's a wonderful actor.
To use some of your, and again, this is not taking away from Jodie. You've said this before. She's never really had that space god moment. Dr. Jericho almost had that space god moment.
Yeah, exactly. But he's also fun too. And somebody had mentioned, I wish I knew it was, and I was thinking the same thing. He's kind of filled in the blank that Graham left. Yeah. He's kind of filled in that blank that Graham left. I know you haven't seen the 5th episode yet, but once you see how the 3 of them, because they're separated from the Doctor, if you see how Graham and Dan and Yaz work together, I was just like, wow, okay. And the Doctor could be actually in his own, he could be his own series. Don't ever watch the Australian K9. It will scar you like the Christmas holiday special. Did it to state fans.
I assume that's supposed to say Star Wars.
Yeah, that's fine. I actually saw the Star Wars episode. See, the problem is I'm a big Harvey Korman fan. Who
lots of things. Carol Burnett
from Carol Burnett, yeah. So that's why I'm okay with it. But I'm like, I get it. I don't watch it every Christmas, and it's hard to find anyway.
My only complaint is that the Lego Star, I think it's the Lego Star Wars holiday special, which is apparently quite good. Like, why is it on Life Day one? Because that's just sad. You gotta at least take that cheap shot.
Yes. Tom continues, I know someone that wouldn't watch Matt Smith because he was younger than them.
Yep.
But I think the acting paid off for Matt because for me, Matt, even though he was in a younger body, the way he portrayed the Doctor, his interpretation of the Doctor felt more like the old man who just happened to be in the younger body.
Yeah.
That's all it is to me.
I love Matt. Like my friend Jack is in the same boat. He has never and will never watch any more than he has of the Matt Smith years. Whereas he is, if you ask me who my modern Doctor is, I usually will say Matt Smith. He's been probably my overall favorite of the new Who.
It took a while. It took like an episode or 2 because I had to get used to that that story arc that was going on over there, the girl who waited story arc. But once he started rolling, the moment that the space god moment that Jodie has yet to hit was the moment when he was standing with the Atrax. He says, I'm the Doctor, basically run. And that's when I knew, hey, we've sealed the deal. This is Matt Smith. He's the Doctor. When David Tennant is standing in front of the Sycorax and says, this planet is defended. And he's had quite a few more over there.
Yeah.
That's when we know we're off and running. When Christopher Eccleston is standing in front of the Destiny Consciousness going, I am talking. Now I've seen all the classic Doctors standing there right on top with him, telling off the Destiny Consciousness. That's when I've seen the space gods. And there are plenty of examples, not only in classic Who, but in new Who, of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Jodie has come real close. And I gave her credit at one moment, which I think was Revolution, which was the one where she is talking to the hologram Dalek, the one that the Dalek that ended up on the girl's back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then she flips the switch, turns it around. There's the hologram of the girl Dalek, and she goes, "Now say it to my face." That moment was like, okay, we're almost there. Come on, and then it just didn't continue on. But that's just me. Whatever. Mark Robinson, problem is if someone judges you because you're a fan of something and judges you because you don't like something in your fandom, walk away. Be kind, never cowardly. Remember, it is your fandom, not anyone else's. They will always be haters. Well, yeah, it's not everybody's going to like everything in a fandom, and everybody's going to have their differentials in what they like and what they believe in, what they think is, proper about the fandom. But I do think that there is a linear running story to the Doctor. When the Timeless Children came out, and I was pissed off, I shut off the Doctor Who.
You did.
That was my second time. The first one was Orphan 55, and that's another episode altogether to talk about. But that was the first review I couldn't even give that was the first review episode I couldn't even give a review to. I said, I need more time with this. I don't even know what to give it a number. And my conclusion was, you told Bruce Wayne he's been Superman the whole time, and that Clark Kent doesn't even matter anymore, because now the Doctor has no limitations. There are no stakes. Mm-hmm. Well, the Doctor can die 3 times, like they did in the Curse of Fatal Death, and it doesn't even matter anymore because the Doctor has no stakes. The Doctor, I think, being kind of grounded in that human level that they can die, and for me also, the Doctor is not the Doctor because the Doctor is the chosen one. The Doctor is the Doctor because of the choices that the Doctor has made.
Yes,
that is the defining moment. And when you went into Timeless Children, you pulled that away and you made her the chosen one. And I was like, I don't like that. I like the Doctor having the limitations, because if you don't have the limitations, then there are no stakes for the Doctor to obtain.
I kind of, I don't disagree with you on that.
Okay.
At the same time, I kind of gave that there was going to be no limitations eventually. It came to a point, right around Matt Smith, right? When we started going, wait, we're running out of regenerations here. It was inevitable.
That was another story.
But it was inevitable. It was Thanos level inevitable. There was going to be something, whether we like it or not. Okay, but they had to do something.
Well, they had
to
do something.
Do I think someone would have done it better than Chibnall? Probably.
Yeah. Well, here are the things that we don't know how many regenerations he was given.
Yeah.
Could have been one more. That was it. So,
but we know but the series is too popular.
Right.
And we know that no actor is going to stick around.
Right.
We know that, we just know that they had to. We know that no actor was going to stick around forever and a day.
Well,
we know that the series wasn't going to get shut down.
Well, both Capaldi and Colin Baker both said that they wanted to try to be the longest serving doctors. Both of them were removed earlier than I think they should have been, in my opinion.
Definitely Capaldi for sure. I have not.
Capaldi for
just
sure.
For the record, I'm working on this, I will be shortly working on the 6th Doctor RPG source book. And that's how I've been working on my classic Doctors. I intentionally left the ones I haven't watched until I'm working on that book. Homework. So I can't speak to him other than both, because most of my stuff with him has been Big Finish. With Capaldi, 100%. I would have loved to have seen another 2 or 3 years of him at the very least, because he finally caught his stride in that 3rd series.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I know he was having some physical issues as well with the way the role was. So that's not a deal.
All right. I'm just let me run through the chats because we got 4 minutes before the show starts. Tom, similar. I've had a friend that couldn't take more than 3 episodes of Matt, couldn't get into Capaldi, and I hated the idea. I thought he said IKEA. He hated the idea of a female doctor. In my opinion, you're lost pup. That's the thing. I wouldn't even go as far as your lost bub. And I said, hey, for me, it's not only the way that people react, but it's the way that the geekdom reacts back to them. Just say, hey, bud, we'll see you. And, she's going to be gone in 2022. Let's check back with you. Andre, you posted a YouTube link. I don't know where it goes, but if anybody, I can't recommend, but there's a YouTube thing. It says ironic on and off. I'm just being careful about things now, especially that I got hacked. Retcon, Mark says, retcon unit, they destroy unit. Yet again, Gur, they make CPL Corporal Lethbridge Stewart. Yeah. Tom, true. Dave, true. I was wondering if you survived the chat earlier as I watched from the shadows. Ramona says, I admit Hagen in the classics, even though I got to support the home team for the gals. There's about 4 episodes of Jodie that I enjoy. There are girls that I know who don't like Jodie. Yeah. Actually, there are quite a few women that I know who are not happy because the Doctor's female. Go figure. It's not just the guys out there. It's the girls out there as well. Not a spoiler, but this should have been a full season. Yeah, I agree too. We need to. Yeah, it was too crunched up in there. Too much put together. As I noted on my Facebook page, and Christian goes full Hulk. There you go. Whatever that means there. When David continues, when people needed to ask questions and watch an episode more than once, the cause is obvious bad writing, Whittaker's bad acting, and here we are. And people I know are kind of on the rails about Jodie's acting. I kind of feel the same. Not that she's a bad actress. I don't know if her interpretation is something that is my favorite or something that I'm impressed by, because I've seen her in other roles, including Broadchurch, including Attack the Block, and there is some acting chops that she's got, and they've never, ever pushed it. And that's the thing about the Doctor in today's New Who, is that there is something about taking on the role, and the term that I've been using constantly is the space god. So if you can't hit that role, it's hard. So got it. Let me run through the chats real fast. And Dave, if you can do me a favor, just run the commercials beforehand, because I'm going to go set up, and then I'll be right back. I want some chocolate cashews, just hungry. Shush about the chocolate. There we go. Well, now you guys are making me hungry. I agree. Dave Smith is the best of the New Who, hands down. How many times can we make Time Lord victorious? That is a good question. I haven't even explored Time Lord victorious. It just seems to be out of my wheel well. Folks, we're going to suspend the chats for right now. We're going to finish. The show only full context, or leave me in a comment below. Thanks for the Traveling TARDIS. I'm sorry, Andrew. We're going to go through the chats, and I'll be going through them. If you want to continue on the chats, I'll be displaying them. But for the next hour, I'll be watching the episode. Dave's going to be running commercials for me. I'll be right back because I'm getting set up to do the watch party. Dave, I'll be right back. Thank you, folks, for stopping. Please continue to stay logged on. Tune in and become part of the legend. Hit it.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
This is Cosplay Michael with the Hagen and Flux Show. I want to tell you about my friends at Embellis Effects in Orlando, Florida. They've got makeup, costumes, and props for all of your costume needs. And the team at Embellis Effects is helpful and friendly. Embellis Effects is one of my favorite places, and I know it will be yours too. I'll see you there. Or go to embelliseffects.com. And remember, cosplay is for everyone.
The massive audio Doctor Who Bad Wolf Bluetooth TARDIS speaker. That's all I gotta say, one word. Wow. It looks like it just jumped right off the screen. Here it is in all its Bad Wolf glory. Right here is the on-off switch and the up and down volume. Right here's the speaker. The TARDIS stands about 6 inches from the bottom of the TARDIS all the way up to the top where the light is. Look at the detail. Wow.
Alien invaders enslave Earth,
unleashing hunters into the ruined wastes.
One young survivor struggles to elude their monsters, clinging to hope.
When he's stolen off the planet by a sarcastic Starship AI, they pit their uneasy alliance against a treacherous galaxy.
Explore a whole new verse of barbarism and betrayal.
Wonder and Adventure
In the Scion series
by Michael J. Allen.
Beginning with Book 1, Scion Conquered Earth.
Available in print, ebook, and audio on Amazon.com. Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
You have more options than ever before.
Are you back, Christian? Or was that?
Okay, we're on.
Okay, cool. Well, then I will give my one last commercial, which is, hey, me again. And I'm going to put up because there's my Linktree address. So you can come see over to this page right here. It'll show up perfectly on your phone. And just subscribe to my YouTube. All of my social medias are there. But I'd love to hit that. I've always used YouTube as more of a storage medium, but I'd love to hit that 100 mark so that I can actually get a usable URL from them. Other than that, thank you very much for having me, Christian. I will take that away.
Done.
And I do have to duck out, so enjoy the episode. And I will see you guys. I leave on part of the reason we're not doing the show on Tuesday is because Wednesday I leave for Philadelphia for PAX Unplugged. If you're there, I'll be at booth 3336. So you can come say hi to me there, and I'll be back and see you guys on the 14th, I believe. I'm out.
All right. And we are in process of the watch party. Thank you, Dave, for joining us out there. And you're more than welcome to go ahead. I'm going to continue with the chats, unless there's something to read out there. And if you want to say anything, by all means, go ahead and put them in the chats at this time. We ask that you please keep it spoiler-free until the end of the episode on BBC America. And the series just started on BBC America. Keep hydrated. Okay, they're doing the intro right now, so let me jump in the chats. There are people who won't count Big Finish or LTV. I accept it all. I do, yeah. That's up to you in that realm. Christian Bales of the episode with Aces Nitro 9 was Remembrance of the Dawn. Oh, was it? No. It was Silver Nemesis. He goes, it was because it was the cyber ship that she was going to blow up. Trust me on this one. I know this one. I love that. I love that line between them. But yeah, she's had Nitro 9 in every episode. You think I have room for the Toon Doctors? Nice. No, I know what you're talking about, Mark, but there was a scene in the Cybermen. The line is from Silver Nemesis. He goes, "Are you sure you didn't bring that Nitro 9 with you?" And she goes, "No, I'm a good girl." And he goes, "Okay, great. Blow up that ship." And she does it. She takes a whole book bag and throws Nitro 9 into the spaceship. Yes, Edward. Yes, totally agree. When it comes to the timeless children, yes, Eric. Edward Isle. I'm sorry. Totally nullifies the stakes in Modern Undead. So, yeah, if you're going back to classic Who, well, if you know that they got unlimited lives, then the Modern Undead story just doesn't work at all. In fact, I would even go as far as saying the TV movie, when the Master's taking away the Doctor's lives, at some point when he's going like 12, 13, 14, 15, doesn't the Master know, wait a minute, you got a little bit more lives in there than I expected. Defo wanted more Capaldi and Bill. Yeah. I wanted more Nardo and Bill. That's what I say, Ramona. More Nardo and Bill. By all means, keep chatting if you want. If you want to tell us what you thought about the episode, you're more than welcome to. Just leave any spoilers out at this moment. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. Thanks. Brandon Fandom, that's a group name. Dan, you could be the 14th Doctor. Southern and y'all. The Doctor comes in and goes, y'all. Yay, Jericho's there. Yay. Everybody do me a favor. Hold on. My microphone just kicked off. If you can do me a small favor, just give me a thumbs up or hey, Mike, a microphone on this. Just to let me know that this thing's still working. I don't want to give too much away, Mark, but they're tearing her apart. Let me put it that way. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Okay, we got to the first commercial break, and I got to tell you, it's a lot of weird salad. What's the term that everybody uses? Word salad, as far as, you know, when people are trying to throw you off on explaining something, they throw in it. Oh, thanks, Dan. There we go. Thank you, guys. I feel like we're at the episode, and I know you're following along, Mark, so I'm at the point where Suntaran Corner. I'm just going to say that. I'm hoping you can find that in there. As somebody who speaks a lot of verbiage to throw things off or to confuse things, they say word salad. This is storyline salad. There's a lot of stuff in here. And the first thing is like, this is what's been the folly of Flux for at least for like episode 1 and 5. It's like, where are we going? What are we doing? What's going on here? And I know that Chibnall's trying to write so it looks bigger than what's going on, but in the same respect, it becomes discombobulated. It becomes really just disoriented. I'm just like, okay, why are we here? What were we talking about? When they just throw things in constantly and there's nothing cohesive about it. Let me just say this, spoiler here, Kate Stewart's in it. And they mentioned something about this, the Suntaran Corner, or it's just like, well, where did that come from? What's that? I mean, how do we get to this point? So there just seems to be a lot of, there's just a lot of stuff. Like I said, to Flux to me is like you're going down to have Thanksgiving dinner. You sit at the table, and somebody puts fast food on the table. It tastes great, but it may not be as weird. Yes, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. A good analogy. Weird Salad. And I think that's a great movie from the 80s, Weird Salad. It's like playing dot to dot, but not following number order. Yes, that's a great assessment. Yeah, or the numbers are all so jumbled up that you can't get to. You have to go from 1 to get to 5. You have to go to 3 first, then 4, then 2, then 5. They're just throwing some stuff out there. Device, that's what I'm looking for, is the word device. They're throwing a lot of devices out there to try to make it cohesive and to try to make the plot work. But as like the critical drinker says, it's just like because of reasons and not necessarily that they're following something. They're just throwing something in there as a device so that, okay, we can't have this, so we'll just go on from here. We'll just throw this in here to kind of cover it. But that's just my opinion on that. I'm still in a commercial break. So hang tight, folks. McFluffy. Oops, I mean McFlurries. Lots of calories, but nothing fulfilling. And I have a question. See if anybody can answer this for me. Especially if you're all caught up. Because the Centaurans are back. However, why are they... If the Centaurans are here, why would you even have War of the Centaurans in the Flux? I'm just curious. Just because to have them? Oh, good grief, Mark. I hope you're getting some sleep. Thank you for staying up with us. And everybody who's up with us, thank you for staying up. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel below. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and every subscriber helps. Seriously? Seriously? Okay. That... I'm just going to put a word in the chat, and I am like, are you kidding me? They're supposed to wrap this whole thing up in this episode, and okay. Paint by the numbers, paint, but the numbers are Arabic and the colors are labeled Chinese characters. Yeah. An exaggeration, Dan, but you are hitting the point. Yep. It's one time that chocolate has left a bad taste in my mouth. Are you watching with me, Eric, Edward, on BBC America? Gotcha. I know, Dan. Or why there are all these subplots. They just seem to be fodder to have a story, but not necessarily something cohesive or anything that moves the story, with the exception of we're just having them for the sake of having them. No, I just think he used a device that was just stupid, because I think they're so used to Strax, and I think you when it come with Doctor Who and you go outside the parameters, you do have that one-offs like the War Doctor or Inferno when they go into a different dimension. You do kind of have those one-offs, but not necessarily something that goes further than that. You just have that because you're giving a good story. And the Centaurans of Classic Who, after what happened to Strax, which I think Strax is a one-off. That's kind of the one-off thing when they joined Vastra and the Pasternatter gang. But now they've kind of rewritten that, David. It's just okay. They're giving the trailer for the next episode. And it's called Eva the Daleks. Sorry. They already gave the trailer out, so okay, we're on the commercial break. So yeah, going back to it, David, there was no need. I think they were just playing off of the Strax thing that now we're just going to demote all the Centaurans to this, and they did it for a joke, and the joke's on them. It didn't faze me well. I find that very unusual for the BBC. They should have done that. BBC aren't allowed to advertise. This is BBC America. Then how I feel if this is all ends with Chibnall shouting that no one understands my vision, I'm going to be sorely disappointed. I did see that. I see that with everything that Chibnall does. It says nobody understands my vision. Yeah, because everybody understands great writing from the past. That when you come up, Chibnall, even like I said, the 4th episode of the whole series. Where are you? The 4th episode of the whole series is the only episode that, at least I'm seeing, I'll verify it again, is the only episode that was not solely written by Chris Chibnall. So that's why I think it's not only one of the best episodes of the Flux, it's the best episode of probably Jodie's run. Oh, they did. I hate when they do that. They do that little promo that they're showing for about 10 seconds about what's coming up in the series. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil, and welcome. We're doing the review of the episode, which is the final episode in the Flux series, Doctor Who Flux the Vanquishers. We're doing 3 parts tonight. We are in the 2nd part of the series. We're doing the watch party right now, essentially. Fortunately, we can't show the episode live, so you get to see my reactions, and you get to comment. If you're watching, especially if you're watching on BBC America, you're more than welcome to comment. All we ask is no spoilers until we get to the review section, which is be coming up hopefully very shortly. I think this episode, how long is this episode? Is it 90 minutes or an hour? I forgot to check there. In the meantime, if you get a chance, please subscribe over to our Facebook page, facebook.com, The Traveling TARDIS, where we're celebrating the 25 days of Humus, and I'm going to check over there because the last time I checked, we have 2 goals that are coming up by the end of this year, and I think some of you have helped us already hit one of those goals. Our Facebook page is aiming to get to 56,000 followers, and let me check where our number is at right now. Still on a commercial break. Lucky you people in England who don't get the commercials as much. We need 36 people to follow us on Facebook, and we've hit our goal of 56,000. So if you get a chance, by all means, let us know. Also, please subscribe over to our Facebook page. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I see 3 of you have joined up. No, wait. I take it all back. I'm sorry. 6 more people have joined us. Thank you. At least we're getting closer to 1,600. We're trying to get to 2,000 by the end of the year. If we can't make it, hey, we're going to try. We're going to try. And we need your help. And I appreciate everybody who's hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. I'm just refreshing to see if we got anybody else coming up. So we got 6 of you coming. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I also have an article from The Independent when we get to the review. I wanted your take on it. But it looks like there was an interview by the Independent about Jodie and the future of Doctor Who. And I got some questions for you. And the series is back. I'll be right back. Hang tight. Please continue your chats. I get the feeling that Chibnall's era is going to wind up in English lit classes as an example of how to write up for a beloved TV series with a 6-year backstory. Yes. At least showrun. Costume design for the bad guys is 10/10. Shame about the Flux series is 5/10. Okay, so you're already giving the ratings there, Mark. You know, I haven't really been paying too much of the costuming because I've been paying attention to characterization and the story. But costumes aren't that bad, so I'll give it to you. Especially for the bad guys, I guess. Yeah, I'd give it probably an 8 or a 9. Why? How? Edward, you're watching that with me. Why is... Okay, I guess this is a thing. What? Why? Why is this a thing? Okay. So something else just became a thing because to move the plot along. Hey, Janine. Thanks for jumping in, Janine. You're just joining us. We are in the middle of a watch party watching Doctor Who Flux, The Vanquishers, that's putting it mildly, David. Confusion? Edward, this is Yaz's dream right here. This is Yaz's dream, isn't it? For the people who are shippers of the series. This is Yaz's dream in mid-flight. David and Dan, tell me, and especially if you're watching this or seeing it, or everybody in the chat, if you've seen this, is there so many devices that are just being thrown out there because? I mean, I'll explain this in the review. I might end up doing the review during this whole watch party because I feel like if somebody, I'm trying to say the right words, and Dan, I know you being a writer, it feels like there's a lot of devices going on, and instead of those devices moving the story, well, they move the story. The problem is it's kind of a cop-out. Like, oh, this is happening because it's happening, and there's nothing else that makes it happen. You know, there's nothing driving that device or bringing in story-wise that device is pushing the story along. Yeah, Edward. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm referring to all the shippers, for the people who ship Yaz and 13. I would love to say it's a joke, but it's not there. Review, please. When the episode ends, Janine, I'll review, and it might not be that long at all, to tell you the truth. I cannot bring myself to watch. I'm just listening while getting some work done. I gave up on the show, actually. Impossible. I truly believe, David, on this one, that Chibnall has put in so much that he doesn't know how to wrap up the story. Listening to you, Christian. Yeah, I there's so many strings out there. I for me to give a cohesive review, I don't even know if I could give a review at this moment, because I need to sit down, watch it again, go watch the Flux over again, and see where I've missed. That's where I feel like I'm getting over there. Oh, I missed a chat there. Subconscious, did the Doctor use K9 as replacement for Castrava? Oh, is that a spoiler? I'm going to jump. Sorry. They're not moving the story towards a coherent conclusion. Yeah. It feels like it's a device. Say, for instance, the Doctor is strapped to an electric gurney or something. The gurney is supposed to be torturing her. And all of a sudden, you know, she sees a magic wand on the table on the other across the room. And then she just like, you know, I can use my psychic powers to activate the magic wand, and I can. That's where it feels like. It just feels like we're putting stuff in for the sake of putting stuff so that we can get the story to move, or I don't know. Like I said, I think I need more time with this. And as much as I'm regretting a second watch. Okay, we're back. We're back from commercial break. Problem with Chibnall has is he cannot write outside of his personal experience, lifetime drama, maybe fantasy adventure, big time. Yeah, it doesn't feel like any new Doctor ideas. Can we just have a series without Chibnall? I think that's a good start. I'm not worry about a Doctor later. That's the problem, David. You've got a point there. It feels like we're leaving the scientific realm for the. I wonder if it was because the BBC cut down the series, but the story was to be 12 episodes due to COVID-19. It was a rush into 6. It's a possibility, Mark. There's a difference between science fiction writing and soap opera writing. Yes, Dan. This is the problem with Chibnall. Yes, there is a big difference, and he doesn't know when to stop the soap opera writing. You can understand characters fantastically, yet still lose track of the fantastic and fantasy elements of sci-fi. And I totally agree that this is kind of. I think you nailed it on the head, Dan. Are you watching this, Dan, or have you already seen it? You're watching it the second time with me. Mark, do you see a difference between the first time you've seen it and the second time you've seen it? On iPlayer. Okay. don't get to see until Tuesday, but I'm good enough writer to see the difference between serviceable and excellent. Yeah. Yeah. The real enemy is hidden in plain sight. Hey, Chris. Christopher Chatfield, thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight, brother. On a commercial break. And David says Chibnall does not have the imagination for Doctor Who. I guarantee that's the problem. He's imitating past situations and solutions. Nothing is emerging creatively from his own imagination. Obvious. And Chris, you posted something but it didn't come through. I think it was an emoji. Yes, on the second time trying, see what Chibnall doing and look for any link to classic series. But Mark, do you see something that I don't? Please, if you're seeing something I don't, please let me know. I'm just honestly, am I doing this wrong? Is there something that I'm just not getting? Is there something that just not? I mean, we don't have too much time left. I mean, this is supposed to wrap up pretty soon, and I can't. I mean, the 6th episode makes me question. Tell me if I'm wrong about this. I guess I'm ending up doing the review right now. It questions why were the other 5 episodes even involved? Maybe 1 makes sense, but 2, 3, 4, and 5 don't even now make sense. What I think this should have been just straight up on the Flux, the Swarm, and am I stupid? Am I doing this wrong? Seriously, is there something that I'm totally missing about this? I mean, I'm confessing right now, I'm not the brightest bulb in the bunch, so I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. So if there's something I'm missing, please bring it up, because now I'm starting to question the entire series. I think it could have been. I think they tried to write an entire series, and then they said, you know what, we could have this story arc about the Flux thing, and that's how I'm feeling. We're fulfilling people with fast food, with McDonald's, with fast food stuff, and it's just not fulfilling. And I'm sorry if I'm not getting it. I really want to get this. I really want to understand what is going on, and I'm not getting it at all. And if you know something I don't, please let me know. I'm just like, yes, on the second time trying, see what Chibnall's looking. Okay, I got that. Unable to write Doctor Who, he tried to impress the audience with globe-trotting adventures. That's what it sounds like, David. Hey, let's take him somewhere here or there. What was that one episode? They were just popping all over the place, and they're just like, why was there? Mark says, is dimensional episode series with paradoxal of 3 main things without spoilers. We're coming to the end of the show. The end of this episode. So I think we can open up the spoiler thing. Okay, cool. You may hate Chibnall's writings. Only it's fair to say answers and questions is the point of this story. Just be aware, not all questions get answered from me. For me, it was kind of satisfying. Chris, if you liked it, that's fine. But to me, good story writing doesn't leave for me, good story writing has an answer, or if there is going to be questions about things, that's fine. And that's what Doctor Who is. It's supposed to leave things open to interpretation because we're not supposed to know about this character. If you liked it, Chris, more power to you. Can you just explain it to me a little bit more? Just give me a little bit of what you got that I may have missed, because right now, as things settle, I'm just. Okay, we're back. It's a very ambiguous question, depending upon the elements, time, space. Or if it comes to the Doctor, the TARDIS, and time travel. Hey, Sophie. Hey. Well, thank you for joining us. It's got to be late out there, Sophie. Well, thank you. Sophie, love you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yes. Dan, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Take care of yourself, Dan. So we're on a commercial break right now. Look away, Christian, when you see Jericho. Okay, I will look away. It's a commercial break. Jericho lost the ring. I'll put it that way. That's where I am. For those of you who are following up. Well, the interactive hologram system works, and the TARDIS carried on a conversation with Clara. I hope they bring Idris back. You see, with the things of Doctor Who, and I do believe in that story that everything ends. Everything has a time and everything ends. I think that's I think that's a story that needs the book closed, Ramona. Because if you bring back things too much, then their value kind of loses out. I mean, if you bring back Idris, which I know people wanted to see Idris again, but I think it just kind of diminishes the story of the Doctor's wife. Whereas this was the only moment that the Doctor and Idris can have that conversation. That was the only time they were going to do it. But when the Doctor's saying goodbye, Idris is saying hello. Like, I've never had a chance to say hello to you, so hello, Doctor. And I thought that was just brilliant. So I hope they don't. But of all things, if they do, please have a great story behind it, because it's going to suck if it doesn't. Documentary title suggesting referencing the season, the day the Doctor died. Seriously. Well, Chris has a different opinion. He says he's not going to spoil it for me, so I appreciate that. So I'm waiting to see if there is a payoff. Bring Idris in and it becomes a shut up. Dan, get the snacky tray ready. Edward, I like the way you think, but shush. Oh, everything has its time. That quote is kind of mentioned in this story soon too. Oh, okay. And Mark says this is very Plato Republic episode of the tripart state. Okay. I mean, I feel like the kid in the back of the class who has to be in the back of the class because he doesn't understand what's going on. And I'm still in chapter 1 while everybody else is on chapter 3 and they understand what's going on. So if this is a brilliantly written story, I'm missing it. Or maybe I'm just not getting it. So like I said, it's like when I've talked to people at conventions who may not understand or appreciate something. I usually take the time to discuss with them, hey, here's another thought process in maybe that you may have not understand that I got. So here is something that I can discuss with you. And if you still doesn't get to it or it still doesn't work, by all means, I understand. We're back. Hey, Deborah, thanks for joining us. We're almost done watching the episode. I'd say we still got about 15, 20 minutes before the episode is done on BBC America. And we'll be reviewing the Flux right at the end. Will Yaz survive? I have no idea. And Sophie says, hey. Good God, you people. I love you. You know what? The mere fact that you're staying up until 2 a.m. to watch me watch TV is incredible. And I love you guys for it. And please keep on chatting. And I thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it out there. You have to draw some sciences from other shows like Quantum Leap. Yeah, I hate it when they borrow that stuff because I mean the first criticism we had that the one character was snapping their finger like Thanos and turning people into dust. So I know it's hard to find a new device in stories these days because everything's been written, but at least try. Well, I thought it was okay if nobody else does opinions. Very well, Christopher. I mean, if you like the episode, that's cool. Like I said, what I need your help is to help me try to get through this episode because there might be something I'm missing, but right now it's just kind of a convoluted mess for me. Some of it's cohesive, some of it's working out, but it's still kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. But I appreciate you, Christopher, walking me through it and not saying, hey, well, if you're not getting it, you're a jerk. I'm like, hey, and you're letting me do the story unspoilerish. So let's see what happens. We still got about a little less than 20 minutes before the show ends. That's not cool. That's not cool. All right, I've turned my head. Callista Graves, welcome ahead. Thank you so much. How about a sentient gaseous cloud or some other sentient anomaly? Oh, I don't know. David, the Doctor's Wife, in my opinion, is the best show of the reboot. I would bring her back for sure. I know what you mean, David. Everybody loves the character. I just think that if you bring her back, you kind of kill off the sentiment of what that episode gave. Christian, yeah, 8 a.m. Not gonna spoil it for you. Okay, it's fine. I told you to look away, but you didn't. I'm sorry. Well, I had to see it. Okay, we are at a commercial break. Callista Graves, you mind some speculation on the 14th? No, we don't mind. If you got it. And I want to say hi. Everybody, as you can see below, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, share, comment. If you want to contribute, super chats are always welcome. We thank you. Can't thank you enough, especially around the holiday season. Super chats are always welcome. YouTube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Please subscribe down there. Trying to get to 2,000 YouTube subscribers. Also, check out the Facebook page, The Traveling TARDIS, on Facebook, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. What do we got there? Oh, thank you, Janine. Me shock on a day season Doctor Who. Everybody stand by, please. I'm just going to run a few commercials and be right back. I'm just going to take a break. When we return, we're going to wrap up the viewing party of the last episode, the Flux, the Vanquishers. And when we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in. We're just going to go to commercial break. Hang on Stand by. Just grabbing the commercials, and I'll be right back. Stand by.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Okay, we're back. Hey, Janine. Okay. Hey, Sophie. I've heard that name, Calissa, being tossed around out there, and I haven't seen the series that he's known for in there. I just know the big hair, but he, I've seen him. I think he hosts a game show, and I saw a couple of clips from that, and he could do it. Of course, that's how we keep this show running. I can do super chats. Really? I can do super chats or stickers on YouTube. I don't know. Is it because of your YouTube or my YouTube? If it's my YouTube, I'll check it out. A lot of votes in one of my groups vote for Redmayne, while a few are still hoping for Sean Pertwee to take up the cape. That would actually be cool. That the son of an actual doctor took over. I would be all for it. And the thing is, he looks like I actually would even go further if can't think of his name. David Bradley takes over the first Doctor role. Why couldn't Sean take over his dad and be the third Doctor in probably the series somewhere over there? Any Christmas specials? Nope, not under Chibnall's reign. I'm hoping that's one of my gripes there, Janine. I'm hoping when RTD comes back, he brings back the Christmas specials. That's just my opinion on that. I know people are going like, it's not inclusive. And I said, you know what? I think it's tradition. And I've been always saying that, you know what, you can always add on to this. That we did have a Halloween Flux special. Let's add Christmas back in. Let's have a Halloween special. Let's have other holidays. I'm all for that. Oh, yeah, the IT crowd. I know what you're talking about. I've seen like videos off and on of him in it. And the Garth Mergani stuff. I'm sorry, Calista. I'm sorry if I get that wrong out there. I can see Sean Pertwee in the role. Yep. Now my question is, would you want Sean Pertwee to be his own Doctor and be like a 14th, a 15th, or a 16th Doctor, or do you think he should play his dad if they were to go back and review it there? The Eve of the Daleks is a great trailer. The 51-second on YouTube that is only, hey, I thought they all got destroyed by the Flux. Yeah, that is a good point. That ad roll music is great, by the way. Who is it? Which one? The ad roll music is great. which one was that? Was that Doctor Who Velocity? Was it this one, Chris? That was Doctor Who Worlds Apart. And they actually made the ad for us. They're actually one of our sponsors out there. Let's see. I'm getting through the chats there. We're still on a commercial break. The Doctor's Wife could be something we see as the occasional voices out of the TARDIS as an extension of the idea of the cloister bell that started with Hartnell. Yeah, the cloister bell rings for any damn thing now. We know that the TARDIS is sentient. Yeah, we do know that. I get what you're saying, David. I think if you just bring a character back for the sake of bringing them back, I might accept this. If there's a good story, because people are saying that they should bring Ianto back for Captain Jack and Torchwood, and they had Miracle Day, which was okay. They should bring Ianto back. I'm like, no. I think that story ended, because if you bring him back, to me, his death in Children of Earth is just meaningless. So if you're going to bring Idris back, it better be supported by a good damn story. That's all I'm saying. I'm open to the subject of anybody coming back in the Whoniverse who may have perished. And we've had people who have perished come back, but it's, for the sake of just bringing them back, I don't like that. And it's the same thing with me with the Flux. I think a lot of focus could have been on the division and what represents them, throwing in the Centaurans and the Cybermen, and we're back from commercial, and I'm hoping this is the last part of it. So let's see here. He would have been. I think he would have been a great master, but we have more than 3 Time Lords on Gallifrey, Edward. We should revisit the others. He could be a monk. He could be the monk or something. Not that I don't appreciate the master, but I think we should be if we're going to revisit Time Lords from Gallifrey, let's get somebody else. He could be Rassilon, I think. He hosts a remake of the old TV show called The Crystal Maze that Richard O'Brien from Rocky Horror used to host. Oh, I don't know what that is, but I might check it out. Xmas special, yay! Christmas special, yeah. Let's say bring him back. I'm not sure whether Trevor lives in now. Oh. Trick question, no matter. He'll be playing his father. No, it was for the writer, I think. Okay. Oh, they're doing BBC America is announcing that they're doing their Christmas specials. Oh, we're doing a 5-day marathon on BBC America. Wow. Oh, okay. So they're doing a 5-day special that's going to be leading into the Doctor Who New Year's special, Eve of the Daleks. Sophie, I love you guys, but crying out loud, that's late. Yeah, I'm finished. I'm finished right now there. Started as dad, but evolved through the series into his own betrayal. Possibly. David, the best part of listening to podcasts is listening to Christian exasperated sighs. Or Ramona says, or Sean could be a revisit of a favorite face, possibly. Deborah Stewart the same. Again, folks, if you're watching, thank you so much for staying up, especially you folks over on the other side of the planet. Please be careful out there. Get some rest. If you need to go to bed, I truly understand that. Thank you so much. But don't forget before you leave, or we're getting into the review section, but please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel below, youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Help us with the algorithms, like, share, comment, and if you can super chat it, you're more than welcome to help us out. Every little bit counts out there. All the stories should be good, so you can do anything. What we should not accept, what you and I accept, kept, is a bad story. You say, let's bring so and so back and write a great story. That's the process. That's fine. I mean, I totally get what you're saying, David. Like I said, my opinion is this. Oh, you got nothing to do on Monday. Okay. Well, I still want you to get some good rest. I know it's late there. Pop my little one off to the nursery, then back to bed for me, I think. Well, Deborah, thank you so much for joining us. I truly appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. I really don't know, Christopher. I ran with you, and I don't know. The character we should never bring back is Jim, no problem. Yeah. I'm getting to the point where I agree with that. They're rerunning Armageddon on BBC America. Is that British? Armageddon? I don't know anybody who's British in that thing. So without further ado, everybody, here's your chance. I'm going to put the spoiler alert up, and we're going to spoil the heck out of it. I don't have that much to say, to tell you the truth, so we might not be in here that long. And a lot of you are heading off to bed, and so am I, because I got work tomorrow. Let me go ahead and throw up the spoiler warning. I'm just going to let you know we're going to be discussing the 6th episode, the Vanquishers. Please put your rating down in the chat. 1 being horribly bad, 10 being awesome, and then of course numbers 2 through 9 in between. And here we go. Here's the spoiler alert. Go ahead and post your numbers and why you think that was rated the way it was, or the way that you rated it. Now.
What?
Spoilers.
Oh. Fantastic.
Got it. Let's see some numbers out there. Sophie Flake, rated a 10. I need an explanation on that, Sophie, but I'm glad you gave it some good scores. This episode, 4 out of 10. Overall series, 5 to 10. Best Village of the Angels, 5. Good bit of the season. What is now over 2 costumes were good. 3 angels. 4, I can think of anything. 5, still thinking bad. 1 retcon unit. 2 certain CGI was really bad. Yeah, the CGI is kind of a little funky out there, but I guess when you're talking about BBC budget, just deal with it. And Edward gave it a 5. Normally, I would just give you a number out. I have everything ready to explain, and this has been really hard for me. The last episode that I rated, the previous episode that we were discussing. I'm going to try to remember my numbers. I don't write them down, so that's bad on me. But I remember I gave Survivors of Flux a 2. I think I gave Village of the Angels an 8, a very high score. I wasn't here for the review. I think it was for the War of the Centaurans, Once Upon Time, and we also did the Halloween Apocalypse, which I gave it a high score. But in retrospect, if you didn't catch this episode earlier, in retrospect, I think it's because I walked in with such low expectations for Chibnall doing Series 13. I rated it high because I was like, oh wow, this is kind of exciting. But after everything was said and done and thinking about it in retrospect, I think I gave him a bigger score. One, because I was walking with low expectations, and two, because it was kind of exciting. But if you really think about it, it felt like they were movie trailers that were just linked together to make this episode of the Halloween Apocalypse. And there was nothing Halloween Apocalypse about it, except that supposedly it took place on Halloween out there. Mark Robinson 3 never went in depth in anything for dot-to-dot matching. Christian gave it an 8. Sophie gave it a 10. Sophie says, love all on Doctor Who. Shock about 3 Doctor Who in place. Okay, so you like the story about the 3 Doctors split up. I guess coming from a classic series, I'm kind of, and knowing the history about Doctor Who and trying to cram the Flux in to make it work, I feel like it's not cohesive. That's just my opinion about that. I just feel like the Flux is being shoved down into Doctor Who lore, that it's just not gelling when you have everything from the past out there. Now, I could be, if you have something, Christian Mesa, do you get and understand this episode? I'm going to be honest, I'm stupid. I kind of got it. I kind of get it. I felt like it was fast food storytelling. Again, I don't know if you heard the analogy that I made earlier. It's like you're going to Thanksgiving Day dinner and you're being handed McDonald's or fast food on the table. You might be fulfilled. It's very tasty, but in the end, you just don't feel completely fulfilled. You feel like, wait a minute, where's the turkey? Where's the mashed potatoes? Where's the cranberry sauce? Where's the gravy? All the fixings that come with it. You handed me a burger and fries. And though it may be enjoyable, it's not fulfilling. So if I'm stupid, I will be the first one to say, you know what? I'm stupid. I didn't get it. And I might have to rewatch the whole thing, which I begrudgingly do because I'm not completely enjoying it, with the exception of the 4th episode, the Village of the Angels. I'll gladly watch that again. In my opinion, the chocolate Centauran thing was a horrible device. It just made the Centaurans look bad. And that's why I was getting Strax involved in it, where you have that one off of the Centauran like Strax, and that's it. That's all that needs to be. But now we'll give you all the chocolate. I'm just like, one of the things that I was hoping for, that wasn't going to be a resolution. You see, I don't even know what the 2 characters were. And let me, Bell and Vinder. What were they there doing for? I mean, aside from having a soap opera story, which Dan Holyfield was mentioning, what were they there for? I just didn't get that. And she was pregnant. Why pregnant? Everybody was alluding that was going to be the Doctor. Belle was going to give birth to the Doctor. And I was like, I hope that is not the case, because then it's not Doctor Who anymore. Because the whole premise, and I agree with Andrew Cartmel. We actually interviewed Andrew Cartmel about the Cartmel Master Plan when everybody was saying, you know what, the Timeless Children is the Cartmel Master Plan. And in some cases, Andrew actually debunking the Timeless Children from the Cartmel Master Plan. It's like, no. we wanted to make it more that there was more of the Doctor that there needs to be, but we weren't going to reveal anything. And the verbiage that Andrew used is that they were going to, he was like the Lone Ranger. He would come in, he would save the day, and he would leave, and the people in the village would go like, well, who was that masked man? That was the kind of thing that they wanted to impress using the Doctor as a character. It wasn't supposed to be any more than that. Then there were some things like the 25th anniversary story, Silver Nemesis, with that the Doctor may be more to something. But we always alluded that there was more to the Doctor, but we didn't go any further. And if had the Doctor been the child of those two, I think that would have killed it for me, because I want the Doctor to remain mysterious. Also, I just wrote down the Web of Time. I'm just like, how does that all fit into this? But and I'm sorry, I think Jericho's death was unnecessary. There was no need to kill him. I mean, just for soap opera effect, there was no reason why to kill off Jericho. And I'm being biased too, because I like Kevin McNally, and we're going to be interviewing him next year. So I was hoping that he would last longer. And it's just like, there was absolutely no reason to kill him off. Just none. And rating an 8, but you're going to need a sci-fi tech background to understand some of the concepts. Made you do your homework. A lot of Googling on the rewatch. Yeah. Was it you, David, who mentioned that? It was just like, if I have to rewatch it again, not because of, I think it was you, David, who mentioned if I had to rewatch it again to understand what was going on, and not the fact that I'm rewatching because I was actually liking it. I got it on the rewatch. Baby on Board. Belle is a short name for Master. The Misty Master for that she had a daughter. There's a Misty Master child to meet yet. I don't know. That's interesting. That's a very, very, very outward conclusion, but okay. If you found that, Ramona, let's see where they go with that. They even go with that, Christopher. Look, if they showed the Key to Time season now, you would pull it apart. It made differently now in a different style of a different audience, probably. It was okay. I would rather have this than Black Orchid. Yeah, I would pull it apart if there were things that didn't make sense or were just not cohesive. But I meant the whole premise was that they were getting the pieces to the Key to Time, and there was a little criticism that I made, Christopher, on the last, which I think was made clear in the book of the Key to Time than the TV series, because Astrid, who is supposed to be the last Key to Time, was actually a part of the Key to Time. And they had made mention that Astrid would be dispersed immediately, but the White Guardian was supposed to use the Key to Time to put things back, and the Black Guardian was trying to get the Key to Time away from the Doctor. And it wasn't truly really explained in that ending. So yeah, I gave it a little criticism, but there was some fun to it. The whole idea was they were getting pieces to the Key to Time. They had these separate things, and there was this one cohesive thing that they were trying to get together. Too much flesh, not enough explaining. Yeah, I kind of agree on that. I'd like to think I'm kind of somebody who gets it and tries to get, but I'm going to have to agree with David. If I didn't get it on the first round and I look at it again and again and again, it's like, what am I missing? So I don't think I would pull it apart as much, because it made sense that they were looking for pieces to the key and there were going to be these stories. And that's the whole purpose of the Key to Time, was they would get that section of the Key to Time, but they were involved. They had to do it within going around and finding it. And that was the whole thing. Well, yeah, somebody could complain, well, why didn't they just drop the TARDIS right next to the key, use the thing to change it back, and it would have been a quick fix, but then you wouldn't have the stories. But It's a good question. I don't know if I would rip it apart. I don't know about that projection, but I mean, I don't know. You're not stupid. Please don't say that about yourself. The flux was an antimatter was splitting in tripart states between time and space and matter. Hence, Doctor split herself into three and three ultimate enemies of the Daleks, Cybermen, Centaurans, and three Ravagers. Like I said, it wasn't made clear to me, and I might be a little bit, around Christmas time when they're doing the marathons, I might go back and revisit them. And I also know I'll take a little blame on this that I was chatting with everybody and trying to give updates and stuff, so I might have missed some things, but I don't feel like I did, or at least it wasn't explained to me outright. They killed off Katarina and the Dalek Master Plan. Nobody liked that. Well, some people. Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. But something like the Adric death. And some people really wanted Adric killed. But I think when he died, I think a little bit people were taken back and was like, they're not going to do that. And it's like when it happened, it was like, oh, they really did kill Adric. Some people did party afterwards. I know who those people are. But I don't know. Like I said, Christopher, on the death kill for Jericho, I'm biased. I like Kevin McNally. I didn't want his character killed off. And I think also alludes to that I wish there was more about his character. He was only in 3 episodes. And I think he was such a good and strong character. And there's so much that they could have played with. But that was the folly of not having a full season to expand on that. David says, yes, anyone who grew up with the classic writing of Holmes, etc., won't put up with this current. Sorry, watchers. I got to be careful because YouTube and the kids stuff. So I can't say the word, Dave, but I get what you're saying. If you're under 30 and grew up with the current junk, then higher score marks sense to you. Well, I'm also, I also grew up with the writing of Robert Holmes. Sorry, my brain is so fried right now because it's late. Some of you are up until 3 a.m. So I'm like, your brains have got to be totally mush. Terrence Dix, Robert Holmes. I'm so sorry. That kind of spoiled us. I mean, one of my favorite episodes of Classic Who is The Talons of Wang Chiang. And today that episode would never be made, but it's still one of my favorites because it was just so much fun. Doctor Who clock Doctor Who clock wanted TARDIS. Oh, I'm sorry. I think that was just a chat thing that went awry. Wonder what it was about the time mentioned. No regeneration to the Doctor. Yeah, that was another thing. Yeah, why no regeneration? What was that all about? Sophie, I love you. If you guys, I'm going to end the episode now. Because I'm running tired there. This is going to be the last. I wonder if the TARDIS can't handle swallow antimatter, but the other solution has no problem handling flux antimatter. Yeah. Yes, need to rewatch to understand. Means bad writing. Reactions should be terrific during the end. Yeah, I agree to that to an extent. And nothing against you, Christopher. It's just, to me, yeah, I agree with that analogy, with that thought process, that if I'm watching because I loved it and I want to see it again, like going back on a roller coaster a second and a third time. But if I have to watch it because I didn't understand the ride, then I'm like, okay, it may not be so enjoyable. I have to work at 7. God, Mark, get out of here. Mark, love you, man. Get out of here. Get some sleep, man. Dude, 5 hours. I'm just going to let you know, for everybody, we are going to be changing our stuff back to Tuesdays, with the exception of the episode of Eve of the Daleks. We're going to see if we can try to do a review after that, but we are going to be moving back to Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless something miraculous happens where we come back to this point. But this will be the last episode that we'll be doing on Sunday for right now. I want to thank you all for being with us. I want to thank you for subscribing. Let me just check the counts now, see how much we've grown. Well, we got one more person in there, so I appreciate you subscribing to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys spending 3 hours with me, just talking, watching a TV show, and then telling you about my thoughts on it. You guys are so wonderful. And again, subscribe to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Absolutely, Christopher. Stay safe. Everybody stay safe. I haven't watched it twice yet, so I intend to. Okay, Christopher, more power to you. I hope you enjoy it out there. Again, just to give you a run cap of things that we're going to be doing, December the 21st. If you guys have never seen them perform, you can actually watch the classic episodes that we had from last year. They did a Halloween and Christmas special, and they'll be back Tuesday, the 21st of December. Phantasmagoria. And please check out their Facebook page and their YouTube channel. If you've never seen them perform, it is wonderful, and they're going to be doing a special performance solely for the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. So please enjoy that. And the good news is, Sophie, see you next 2 weeks on Tuesday. Sophie, the good news is it's at 7 p.m., which is an hour earlier, so you might have time to watch out there. But we'll be returning to that time frame for the meantime, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe that's 11 p.m. UK. So it's an extra hour earlier than the Sunday round. We did this solely to do the reviews during the BBC premiere there. But check them out. They'll be here December the 21st at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. I should say 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 11 p.m. UK. And that's it. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. We can't do this without you. And I just appreciate everybody for sticking around. And I wish you all best good night. And if, for whatever, gosh, I can't talk. I've really been tired. I'm sorry. It's going on the third hour there. I want to wish everyone in here, whatever you celebrate, whatever you believe in, happy holidays. My tradition is Merry Christmas, but whatever your tradition is, I hope and wish for you the best. And definitely, I want to see you next year when we go. Or when we return back to the conventions. We're going to be doing 2 of them. We're going to be doing Central Florida Comic-Con in mid-January, and the week after, we're going to be doing VillaCon. That will start off our convention run. Thank you, everybody. I want to wish you a wonderful, happy, safe, and prosperous holiday, and I want to definitely wish you all a very wonderful new year. We'll see you again and not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Thank you all so much. Take care, and always become part of the legend.